Okay. We're going to say we're live. I don't know. I have to do some phone calling. There we go. I think we're right. I don't know. So I'm going to assume we are correct. This is what we're going to use. This is a canvas that we're going to be using. And I'm going to tip you down. Live with Restream, okay. I'm going to tip you down. And we're going to use this frame here. There we go. Now I can see. Hope everyone can catch up with me. Guys, I can't get my webcam to work, but we're going to just go with it. I hope you can see. Because I'm not technology ready. As you might have figured out already, right? Alright, so we're going to do some chalk touring. And we are going to be using this very nice chalk couture. Sorry, all my pastes are down on the floor if you're watching on YouTube. A lot of you watch me on Facebook. And it says, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And it's a really nice transfer. And I have everything behind me because I didn't want to have everything in my way. That's the way it is sometimes. I'm just going to grab my fuzzer. And if you haven't used chalk couture before, guys, it is a fun craft and hobby. You can make money off selling your products, your finished products. So let me show you how to do it. You take it off of your sheet. This side is glossy and the other side is flat. And you just set that aside. Your transfer can be reused up to about 12 times. I have some transfers that I've used even more, but 12 is usually the average of what the company supports. So you have this fuzzer. You're going to lay your transfer on your fuzzer, like so. And you're going to press it down onto, looks like a towel, okay? And it's real hard to see because of it being green on green. But you just peel it off, and you do it about 5-6 times until it's not so sticky. And I know that sounds so crazy, right? Why defuzz something? I hope this is all working. My son said he would jump on and let me know. I see a few of us here. Welcome, welcome. And I'm just going to keep doing this until it like comes off my board here, my towel, fuzzer towel, very nicely without peeling, without lifting up. When it stops lifting up, then I know I'm about ready to use it. Just like so. Now I'm going to just set it on here for just a few minutes, and I'm going to paint my board, and I'm just going to let the fuzz stick to it. Okay, we're just going to set that aside. Now, I just hit myself. Did you see that? I'm going to use this beautiful deep berry, shimmering berry, and we're going to paint that. And I'm just going to take a quick brush here. And I drew out a frame for my transfer. Now let me just grab my transfer real quick. And I'm going to put it on backwards so you can kind of see. I'll peel that little piece of hair off it. Well, it's kind of stuck. I'll get it off. Goodness. Might have to use a piece of tape. And I traced out in the center of my, that's how it's going to go. All right, so we're making like a picture frame. And this is, see, it's so sticky. yet that I'm going to fuzz it some more in just a little bit. But let's paint our frame. Now on the outside, I'm going to do this nice berry color. And yes, it's chalk paint, but you can use a paintbrush. And I'll just paint your normal way of painting, just like so. Hope everyone had a lovely Thanksgiving, and I hope you got to see some people you haven't seen for a while. That's always so fun at holiday time. Now, as you can see, my brush needs a little water, so I'm just gonna push in some water there before I can spread it. Oh, that's better. And I'm just kind of like painting where my lines were. Now you could use where are my little guys? Hold on, my things are missing. Oh, now wait a second. This stuff is right here. My water is hiding my stuff. See, I know I have more of these. Here we go. We're going to be using these little squeegees as well. And you could use a squeegee if you want. It just pulls it off a little bit more. And you can just move your paint around, just like so. But this time I'm going to use a brush. And I'm going to just add a little water to that. But I like the brush look. And then we're going to take, after we dry this frame, it's a painted frame, we're going to take beads and go around it as well. So it's kind of a little long project, but it's going to be a gift when we're done. Someone might want this. Someone in the world might want this. And it might be you. You don't know. Most of my crafts are for sale. This will be one for sale. I don't know the price yet. We'll have to see how much it takes. So we just painted the bottom. Now we're going to paint our side. Oops. Thought I had everything off. There we go. And again, I'm just going to go right up and down the frame, making it a frame, keeping it simple. Now guys, I paint my edges of my picture usually the next day, and I usually do it with black. Just because it hides a lot of, like if I hit the edge or something, you can use the same paint, or you can use different paint, whichever you prefer. I'm just trying to do a straight line here. See how I just smeared that? And it came out to be a very nice line, and now I can just finish getting the rest of that off. My paint is kind of dry tonight. This is one of my newer ones too. Interesting things happen in the craft room. Last night, friends, my made some Mod Podge, and I bumped it, and the whole thing spilt all over my table during my craft. I'm just trying to take off some of that heavy line. Now we're going to go over this with Jules, so we're not going to so much worry. We just don't want globs. Okay, and now I'm just going to take my scraper and I'm just going to scrape and be really careful not to go past my line because I don't want it in my picture. Where's my wider one? Should have a wide one in here. There it is. All right. Got a couple people watching. That's great. And I'm just kind of making it look fresh and blue. Just like so. I'm going to let that white line show on the edge. Hope you can see that white line. Same thing up here. I'm going to just take off that edging. Just like so. Now let's do the other side. Oh, that's looking nice. Now I got a little bit of a heavy line here, so I'm going to try to take that off. Went a little bit crooked, darn. When you do a long edge, guys, you want to do it as, as close as you can, but it's looking nice. All right, let's do the bottom here. And I marked it, and see when you use maybe my paint just needs stirring. I don't know. It's very pasty. It is paste, but I like it a little creamier. See, I'm gonna start with the brush and then scrape. That seemed to work. Very nice. I'm doing it right to that line, my imaginary line that I made. I just put a few dots going across. Like so. And then just color in the bottom or the leftover, depending on which way you're going on your picture. Very nice. Now we'll take the scraper that we had and we're going to use that to go over that space again. So this is how it works. You take your scraper with the tipped edge going downward, and you're just going to go right across. So it's nice and neat, and then you just push that stuff right back into your dish. And I'm just gonna come back and take off this heavy line that I made. And on the corners, I kind of like to go at an angle a little bit. Same down here. I think I took too much paint off here. That happens. So nice and cool. Now let's do this fourth side. Okay, here we go. I think it's about ready. And you have to find which way works best for you guys. When you go down on your board, if you're a puller, then you want to, you know, start at the top and come towards you. If you're a pusher, you might want to go the other direction and pushers from the bottom to your top. Now we left the center white, which is just what I wanted. And I'm just spreading that extra paste, not paint, it's paste. And paste doesn't always like to spread. Sometimes you have to use your, I'm just doing my corner here where it's not so blending it in. Now let's take that scraper and let's scrape that off. I dumped it. Alright. Now we're just going to scrape it off where it blends in the same way on the other side. And then push that extra paint in. Now we're going to go this way as well. Push that extra paint in to your bowl here. Now we're going to do this one as well. Now this one went kind of a little crooked, so this bottom we have to just kind of like just redo it. Just take off whatever's just not blending correctly. Now we have this heavy line right here. I'm just going to see if I can scrape off it a little bit. I have a heavy line here too, so I'm just going to try to scrape a little of that off. Alright. So now we have a nice framed out picture frame. And I'm going to just put my brush in the water because we're done with that brush. And now I used a dark blue. Let me plug in our hot blue. So we're going to need that. And then we'll chalk couture it as soon as we get the framing around the edge. Now I'm using beads, guys. Beads are kind of cool. I think they're just basic beads. I'll probably just go twice around, and I'm going right on that edge. Now I'm going to dry this before we go too much farther. Just a bit. It will dry fast, so no worries. Just so I don't smear it, you know. You don't want to smear our good work. You know, some people like to do this all before you jump on, but I decided that I do it all at the time that you see, and that way you know how long it takes a crafter to do this. Of course, you want to decorate it and all that, so you want to have that. Blob there. Just trying to take it off with my finger without spreading it too far. Now I'm just taking a paper and just wiping the edges. I got my chain again, just a minute. My beads. There we go. These are so fun to make, guys. Now we're simply just going to go around the edge. Maybe once or twice. We'll see what it looks like. Just around the frame of it. Go too far. And I go one bead over the edge of my frame so I can meet it on the other side. Just go a little bit here. Oops, don't want that on there. Get it to look like a corner, not just a circle. So you want it nicely on there. Now we're going to go straight down this side as well. I went around the corner and I'm attached there. I am left-handed, so you'll see me swap hands, because most things are right-handed in the crafting field. Extra glue here, so I'm going to just snaggle that off. Again, I'm going right down to the corner, staying on that line, and then a little bit after it. Pulling off my hot glue. Looking nice. All right, again, right down the edge here. Pull on your chain just a bit, it will help guide you to go straight. Doesn't always work. I've had some bloopers. I'm not lying. And then we're going to come right up here and we're going to meet right behind that one. Oh, I'm good at dropping things today, guys. Stay right on that edge so I don't have to go back and repaint it or anything on that line. My scissors over there, guys. Goodness. Now this should meet up right with that other one. So you have a nice picture frame. It's beaded around. Now I'm going to do a second row of beads. And I'm going to do it about a finger away. Approximately. So I'm going to lay it down, starting it just like the other bead, one bead out. Try to draw a straight line. Roll your beads onto it so it stays. Now you have the two beads. Just gives it a different look. I'm going to go one bead out again. And this time it's going to go straight down. Might have to go two beads out, it looks like. There we go. Go, and just follow that, pull it straight and lay it right in the glue, and that works the best for laying it down. Now is it going to be perfect? No, I'm not a perfect person. Now we're going to go this way, and again I'm going just a few beads past it so you know you can make your corner. And then once that's dry, the beads are dry, then I will be able to take off any hot glues and stuff like that. And then after this, we will do the center. A little bit past it. Now I'm pulling it tight. That gives me my straight line. And then I'm turning my corner. Maybe a little farther out. Oops. Got a little too much hot glue on that little spot. There we go. I think I got it. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. And then we're going to meet this one. Well, we're going to have to pull it out just a little bit and do one bead over, so we won't cut it off yet. And some people like to follow that little piece of wood that's there. That works as well. If that works for you, use it. The frame itself has a kind of an internal bend. sticking to my finger real well. There. Now my beads were about $4, but this is what it looks like. You can see the 2 layers of beads. Now you can certainly add some beads in the center if you want. It wasn't my plan, but this is how it is for right now. All right, now let's chalk couture the rest of it, and let's make it a kind of fun. It's all dry, ready to go. So let's take this again, and I'm going to do it just a few more times. See, I kind of let it all rest, and now I'm going over it again just to make sure, hitting my edges. We don't want it to stick too much. And we're going to use a little bit of wax. Well, maybe. Put my wax, oh, here it is. I'm going to use some wax from Chalk Couture. Whoops, I had it upside down. Let's do that one more time. And what the wax does, guys, it keeps it from actually taking off any paints, makes my surface smooth. So, you know, whatever works for you, that's what you kind of want to do. So I got some wax on here, and now I'm just going to rub it on. Now carefully you don't knock your chains off that you just put on. Now I'm going to just flip it over, just turn it over. The other side is clean, and I'm just going to take off any clumps of glue, or I'm sorry, wax, and I'm just going to buff it. Making sure that it's covered, but not too bad. Just a little, that's all you need. That's it. Not hard, right? Chalking is not hard, guys. So now you're going to take a paper towel, and I just like to wipe it just in case I did leave any on from my rag. You don't have to wipe much, but it should be smooth. And if it's sticky, if your paper towel sticks anywhere, that means that wax is not spread around, and nor is it ready to be used. But now it's all set to go. So we're going to take this off, and now this is going to go right in the center of our picture here. Should fit almost perfect, if not perfect. I'm a little bit tight, but that's all right. And now I'm just making sure there's no air bubbles. No air bubbles at all. So I like to take my large cleaner, and I'm just gonna come and press down my any air bubbles out. I'm not pressing hard, guys. I'm just getting it down to, whoops, get it into my corners. Now feel it. If you have any air bubbles, guys, you're not going to have a good turn, a good experience. All right, so this is what it looks like with the transfer on, right here. Looks pretty nice. And now we're going to use different colors and chalk right over this. It will be beautiful in just a few minutes. We'll be using some green, some red, maybe not red, 'cause then that would be red, white, and blue. Well, that would be okay. The green on here would be, and then we have like a sun. So it looks like we have some birds here. So we could probably use that blue, or the berry. We have a nice sun. We have some leaves, and then the words. In the words, I'll just do all this, all in the same color. So I'll use about 3 colors. So let's start with the little birds, since we already have this out. And again, you just simply go in, take a little bit on your spatula here, and you're just going to go right over it. Now it's going to look messy because you're just filling in over that screen. Now, when you do a transfer that's on a canvas like this, you have to allow for it to be kind of bumpy. And you know, you can maybe stick like a box underneath it or something to help it stay firm. That's workable. This one actually fits really nice inside. It's a it holds little trinkets and stuff, and it fits right inside, and I kept it just for that, really. That's just a tip. So I'm making sure my bird is done, and I want the, let's see, we're going to use some, I had it up there. We can use some Harvest Yellow. It's pretty gold. It's more gold than yellow. See, this one's really nice and creamy. It's beautiful. And we're going to do the sun with that. Now remember, this is a silk screen, so it's a little bit different. We're not going to have a child's, what I call a child's sun. We're going to just have the outline. I'm being very careful not to hit those other lines. Getting my first color in first. Now what's really nice about this, guys, it's kind of like a present. Because you have to look to see if it worked for you. Because now would be the time to change it, not after it's dry. And I usually use about 2 to 3 little scrapers, spatulas, or whatever you like to call them. They're scrapers though, for my different colors. So as you can see, it's just 2 little globs there, right? Now I'm going to just peel it back because we want to make sure, and you'll be able to see what it's going to look like. Can you see that? Try not to touch the paint to the other side of the transfer, but it's going to be an outline. And because this was so busy, I didn't think I needed to do any other, now I want to make sure this gets back down. And it stops the paint from sticking through, or sticking to the paint on, or the paste underneath as well, by lifting it up. Okay, I think that's all the yellow we'll probably use. Let's get the green out now. And let me cover up my berry, because, you know, paste dries fast. All right, let's see. I thought I had all my colors right here, and I have right on top. Look it's right here in front of me. Now this is a forest green, very pretty. Absolutely love this forest green, and that's what we're going to do these little leaves all around. We're going to be very careful not to hit any other part of the screen. This will not run or anything like that. See, I said I was going to be careful and I hit that edge already. Okay, and now I'm going to just scrape, flip it over and scrape off the excess paste. Gosh, I'm stuck on paint tonight. Paste, just like so. Now I'm going to lay it down to do the rest and swap hands. And if you decide you want to do different colors, friends, you can get that. You can get this transfer, I believe, till the end of this month. Maybe a little bit into next month, but after that, then it goes into they go into Valentine's Day, which some of that's already started to come out. Now I'm just going to do a little scraping here to make sure my paste went through my screen. Go. And then we have a couple more down in the bottom, so I'm just going to flip it. Again, I'm leaving that board right there so it fits like perfect. I just bought that board too. And again, I'm doing my leaves, going right over it, making it look like a real big mess, but it's not. It's going to be fine. When I started out, guys, with this chalk contouring, it was, you know, I probably wasted some paste. Gosh, I'm stuck on paint, guys. This is paste. Oh, goodness. And then, oh, we have 2 more here. I thought I had just this bottom one. Go back and scrape it. Scraping just saves you paste, guys, and you put it back in your jar. And then I have a little spot right here, and you can get it as detailed as you want. We're doing this one simple because it's so already complexed with the transfer itself. There we go. So the green is now done. So let's see, what color should we do the words now? I can't see my messages for some reason. I don't know. I'll come back to our messages, friends. Don't worry, I promise. Alright, so we have gold for the sun, blue for the word. Well, we could probably, let's see. What would be a fun color? You know, I just got some new colors right here. Let's see what I got. Ooh, a really dark blue. What is that? Midnight blue. Moonlight blue. Moonlight blue. It is super dark. That would be kind of cool. That'd really make it dark, wouldn't it? I got some more of the forest green that we just used. So that won't be so good. We're not going to use white. Not doing. I thought I bought some different colors tonight. Well, we got the red. Where's my crimson? Let's just use our crimson. So we use a total of 4 different colors. And these colors, guys, they go approximately they run around, I don't know, $10 to $14, depending on if you get the shimmer or if you get and you can get these at chalkcouture.com. Crafting Time Kathleen, and you can get those there. I'll put the link in there when we're done. So this would be kind of a red, white, and blue with a little green and yellow. And again, we're just putting some paste on. And I'm going to start down here on the world, since we're down here. Now we're just going to do all the rest with the red. It will be fine. So we're not going to even worry about what we hit. We're just going to make sure that we get the paste through that screen. Now some people like to, I'm going to turn my scraper, and I'm going to scrape over the word I just did, which was O-R-L-D. I didn't do the whole word. And just take off that extra paint, okay? That's all I did. Now when we get done with this word, I'm going to lift this side up just for my paint and my paste. Goodness sakes, why can't I get this together tonight? Don't overstick. You know how paste or paint can stick when you're using a screen, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So we're going to lift it up here. I lift this corner up, and that's what it's going to look like. It's upside down, I know that, but I just wanted to show you. Now let's do the rest of it. Now this is a deeper red, so it's not going to be Christmas red. It's a deep red. And I'm just going to finish up this word here. And it's best to go one direction when you do your paste. Just makes it a little easier for you. And goes faster. When you start going this way and that way and this way, it slows you down. And I just put paste all over my face. Crafting can be messy. I think I had some green there. I did. Well, this one's going to have a little bit of blend of green because I hit the green leaf. That's all right. I'm just going to keep going. And then I'll show you how to clean these fun transfers. This is so fun. I love doing this, guys. This is so relaxing. Don't worry if you make a mistake at all. You know? If you make a mistake doing this, friends, just keep going. You're creative enough to fix that. And it's just chalk, guys. And you can wash chalk off, but then you have to, on a canvas, you would have to do some extra creating afterwards. Okay, so we got this one word done, so we're going to lift it up. I think I'll do that part of that word for it can lift up straight. And sometimes your paste goes on the back, so you have to scrape it, you know, do a back tuck. Super cool. Now, I am on a new system, so I hope you will please tell me what you think of it all. I like honesty, guys. Now I'm just peeling this back to take a look at it. And that green needs to be redone. Good thing I cut that. This one didn't go through. So I'm going to see if I can just kind of push it through a little better. Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. Once the paste has dried on the screen, it's sometimes harder to redo it. Now let's take a peek. Well, I'm going to take a finger and I sprayed a little bit of water on it, and I'm just gonna kind of like try to push it through with my finger. Getting a little bit wet, because once it starts to dry, guys, it's a different, see, your fingers get going. All right, now let's see if it, no, it did not. So I might have to lay it back down later and fix that. All right, let's keep going with the rest of the couple words. I'm going to again turn it. That's what it's looking like. Oops, sorry. Doesn't look like much, I know, but it will. Once we're done, it will look very nice. And on canvas, guys, sometimes the words look fuzzy, and that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Crisp is nice, but it doesn't always, got water on my finger. Sometimes looks a little fuzzy. Make sure you have no white showing, or whatever color canvas you're using. Now they're coming out with those nice black ones, guys. Oh, those are so nice. Super nice. I forgot what I was going to say there. Thinking. I'm just scraping off all this little excess red. Crimson red is what it is. And then we'll do this one up here. I'm trying to stay. I'm going to be very careful here now because I don't want to mess up my sunlight, my little sunny. And I've done it before, guys, and I messed it up. So I've learned to just take it slow. We're almost done, and we'll peel it off, and then I'll show you how to clean this. You can add a bow to this, or you can really do a whole lot, actually. You can add a hanger if you want. Some people don't like hangers, they like the 3M clips. Those work fine. Just make sure that it's on. I'm just scraping off all this little excess. Did you see all that excess? Just scrape it right back into your dish. This is your dish that you took it out of. There we go. Alright, let me dry my hands. Oop. I I usually wear a smock. I didn't put it on. Okay. Let me take this off. Let's pray it went all through nicely. Very nice. Now I'll show you something that I'll have to do once it's completely dry. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? With the little beads on that. Now, see, it's kind of like plain in those spots. Right here, and this one here, it's not as dark as the bottom ones down here. See that? So I'll probably have to redo that. And what happened is my transfer dried before the paste dried on the transfer before it got to soak through. So, but it's there. You can see it. And I'll have to fix that once it's all dry. And that is washed off, which we will spray. I'm just spraying distilled water on there to get my paste wet so I can wash it off. This one's almost empty. That's a little better. Oops. Did you see that? All right, let's dry this up, and then I'll show you how to clean your transfer that you can get on chocolateur.com/craftingtimekathleen. Super cool. Oh, that looks so pretty. I really don't think it needs a bow, but if you feel it needs a bow, feel free to put one on. I'm just drying the back. Now I want to show you the back. It doesn't go through. I'll retouch up these in just a little bit, but we're going to wash that transfer first. Now you don't have to dry it. Paste dries usually pretty fast, so, but that's what it's going to look like. It's super, super nice. I hope you like that. And any of these little hot glues, they'll either fall off or they look like they've all been melted off. It's a bummer that I didn't check those. I thought I did, but it wasn't like these. They should be like that. So I have to redo that one. And I'll show you how in just a bit. Let me put this back down here. Let me set that over here. Move my paste. Now I just use a table, or I'm sorry, not a table, just a cloth like this. It's for your dishes. And just moving my stuff where I can lay it flat. I'm going to pull it back just a tad. And again, I'm going to just make sure it's all very wet. And it's going to go through your transfer, and it's going to stain your cloth. And you can spray the back of it if you need to. Being that this one dried a little bit, I'm going to spray the back because it was bad. Okay, then you're going to take your, you're going to use some Lysol cleaning wipes. I just take a handful and I break them apart. You know, they break easily. My first one is always just for my own hands. Not that I don't want to clean my transfer, but my hands, you know, they have the paste on it too. And as you see, the paste can come right off, usually pretty simply. They do have a tendency to stain my nails, but I never worry about that. Just put some nail polish on. Just want them off my hands so when I touch my transfer, my hands will be clean. However, when you do your transfer, you're going to just wipe it off first. Take all that extra paste off. And you'll find certain colors will come off nice and easy and others will not. See, it comes off like so. Now when I do big transfers, guys, now I just put that one right in the garbage because I used to rinse them off and reuse them, but I find that this is just as simple. Now I'm just going to go back, take off a little bit more before I use what they call the eraser. This is super easy. Now I'm just going to flip this over and just wipe off on that. See, the paste went through, but it dried. Anywhere that it looks like it dried, I'm making sure that okay, so that side's fairly clean. Now I'm going to take my eraser. Now this is pretty well dried out and dry. The erasers come like so, and I cut mine in half. I don't abuse them that way. You get your eraser wet. Usually 2 squirts. And then you go on here. Now this is dried out, so I'm going to just add water. And you will see the paste start coming up a little bit, and that's when you can take your eraser and clean it off. Now some will stain, definitely will stain your transfer, the green part of it, but don't let that bother you. It's not the end of the world if it gets stained. It's the screen you have to worry about. I gotta move it up just a bit. I'm right on the edge here. It's the screen that you have to worry about. The screens are what makes your picture, not the color of the fabric of the screen. I'll put a little bit more. This little water bottle, this is so wonderful. I'll be bummed when it breaks. So I'm just making sure it's all nice and clean. And then remember that paper we took off the back? Well, we're going to reuse that. Now I'm just checking this. Now I'm going to just take another clean one. And I'm just going to wipe it off. We're pretty much done with this edge. Flip it over. I'm just going to wipe it off now. Linen, the back side, the fluff side of the fuzz towel, absorb just that little extra water. Now I'm going to have to reuse this transfer in just about 2 minutes, but I want to show you on the paper. This is the paper it came off of. There's a shiny side, which I think you can see the shine there, and then there's the flat side. The flat side is the back. So you're going to take your transfer, and see, it's already beginning to stick. Did you see that? Watch. Oh, sure, now it won't do it in front of you. I got to dry that off first. Take a dry towel. You might need a couple paper towels, depending on how big your transfer is. You dry it off. Now guys, if you want to use a regular towel and stuff like that, that's fine as well. But now watch, see? Now you can feel the water on there because my paper towel is just now starting to stick. I got something there. I have a little dirt there from something. Probably from my other towel I used. See, this is dry. Now you hear it squeaking? It means it's clean. Terrible sound. Okay, so see, now it's very sticky again. So you take the shiny side up. You're going to lay it onto your transfer paper, edge to edge, the best you can. And sometimes I'm crooked, guys. But look how nice and clean that is. Now the yellow does stain a little bit, so I am going to take my cleaner here. I'm just going to go over that just a little bit more. Just that spot. The rest is super, super clean. Alright, so now we got to fix that two little spots. Now we already fuzzed it, but we washed it off. This is all dry. All dry. But I'd like those green areas to be a little bit greener. And now that my screen is clean, I should be able to do it again. Just that spot. Just the top. Wonderful world. I got world towards you. Okay. Now the tricky part of it is to put it back in the spot you had it. You might have to stand up to do it. Whoops, just had to stick to my hand. And that's part of why I like to use a frame, because then it usually fits right back in that same spot. Now I'm crooked. Oops. Screwing up. Let me turn it. It's just not working that direction. Maybe it's too close to my nose. And I'm going to lay this towards the bottom here. Now let's see. I have to stand up. Sorry, friends. But I want it nice. There we go. And the way that you put it down will be the way you did it. So gotta get my fingers out of there. Otherwise you'll get a double look on those leaves. so much difficulties. I'm just a fraction off. And that should be just about right. I think we got it. Man, that took me a little longer than I was planning on. I'm going to move this down just a bit so I don't hit it. We're just doing those leaves. Then, of course, I'll have to wash my transfer off again. But, hey, I'd rather have it right than wrong. Got it nice and flat. Again, we're just using the paste, that same paste, nothing different. Just want to make sure you get it in the right. Well, let's just do it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I'll just keep it. And that's why I don't like to take it completely off. But to wash it, you have to when you have errors like this. Now, it'll either look better or worse. Now we're going to just go ahead and do this side. Try not to hit those edges of any of the other sides. I have nothing to blend it with, so. Okay, now I'm going to just scrape it. Make sure I get it neat. I don't think I scraped this one. Alright, let's see if that fixed it. Well, made this side a little thicker and the other side, but it's better, it's darker. See that? Very nice, huh? A little bit thick on that side. This is okay. But I think it will work. So we're going to just set that over here. And again, we're going to wash this off. Nothing over hard here. Just lay it back down. You're going to spray it. Always spray your transfers, guys, no matter what. Let's cover my paste back up. I got a little wet one here, so that should be pretty good. We only have those two little spots. It's not so bad. But there we go. We got it nice and clean. I'm going to just flip it to make sure the back of it's clean. Looking good. And this one here. Oh, got a little green there. Oh, fuzzball. Okay, I'm going to put it back on my paper. Sunny or shiny side up, sunny side up. Oh, gracious me. I'm just a hoot tonight, aren't I? Totally missed. Now, most of this was dry, so I'm not going to really worry about it. And then I let my transfer sit out on my table here until tomorrow morning. And then I put it back in its package that we took it out of. I'm just going to move this. I'm just going to dry it off. And I do have it a little bit crooked, so I'm going to just redo it. Just going to be crooked today. And that's what happens to me. It's just a Kathleen thing, I'm sure. But there you go. A nice clean transfer, ready for a good, 10, 15 more uses. Guys, that can mean a lot. You might make, like this one gift. This is a very nice gift. Homemade. And maybe next year you want to make one for someone else. You might not use that transfer for a whole year. You can reuse this transfer, guys, 10 years from now. If it's in good shape, why not? So there you go. It's beautiful. I hope you like it. I think it's super nice, super fun. Now tomorrow, once everything is dry, I'll come back and I'll paint my edges. I like it to all sit for a night. And I will paint my edges black, because that's what I do. And it looks super nice. And I use black just because it's a dark color on the sides, and you don't get, I do have some brush marks that slid down. And, oh, you know what? I just saw my messages. I just saw them. They just showed up. My goodness sakes. So sorry I missed them, guys. But I'll go back and check them and read them, and hopefully everything. I'm not used to the system, guys. So we're learning. But anyway, super cool. Hope you like it. And thank you so much for coming. And we will see you, well, let's see. We'll see you tomorrow night. I work tomorrow, so we'll see everyone tomorrow night. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you all have a wonderful life. Even though it says world, we live in a beautiful world. We know that, but we have to have a beautiful life to go with it. So I wish you all a good night. Thanks for coming. See you next time. Bye-bye.